Top 10 infectious viruses man has overcome. 1. Smallpox. As at when smallpox becomes pandemic, it kills about 1/3 of the people that gets it. Since it is an airborne virus, it is easily contracted. A British physician named Edward Jenner discovered the vaccine to treat those suffering with smallpox in 1796. His discovery reduced the number of deaths from smallpox. The last recorded case of smallpox was seen in Somalia in 1977. In 1980, WHO officially announced the first disease to be eradicated by human intervention. 2. Rinderpest. Also known as cattle plague, though did not infect human. The outbreak of the disease wiped out about 90% of cattle in the sub-Sahara Africa. Most of the people that rely on these animals for milk, meat and farm work starved to death. Those animals that survived the plague will not ever get rinderpest again. Other wild animals such as giraffes or buffalo that are infected are killed before they infect domestic cattle. Until the 1960s, before a vaccine was developed by a British scientist named Walter Plowright, rinderpest was completely wiped out in 2011, which makes it the second disease to be eradicated. 3. Polio. Full name: poliomyelitis. It's an infection that paralyzes its host. Some cases, the paralysis is temporary, while most cases it makes the person permanent disabled. In worst cases, it virus spread to the lungs and the person dies. In 1953, a discovery for the vaccine for polio was made by Jonas Salk, but he never patented his development so that the vaccine will go round to as many people as possible, thereby losing billions of US dollars to date. 24 years after the vaccine was discovered in 1979, the United States was declared polio-free, after the March of Dimes sponsored the production trial of the vaccination before it was then produced in mass for the citizens of United States. In 1988, WHO established the Global Polio Eradication Initiative to eradicate polio worldwide. The percentage of polio cases have reduced by 99.99% between 1980 and 2016. Polio cases are still recorded in Afghanistan, Nigeria, and Pakistan. 4. Guinea worm. In 1986, cases of guinea worm was estimated at 3.5 million by McGill University in areas like Sub-Sahara Africa, Yemen, and South Asia. Guinea worm is contacted when you drink contaminated stagnant water containing larvae. The worms enter the intestines to reproduce, then after about 14 months, the female worm travels down to the foot, thereby causing some irrational pains, which makes its host to soak his foot in a pool of water, which allows the larvae to be released into the water, starting a new circle of life. Though there are rarely cases of death caused by guinea worm, no one will be satisfied that worm is using his intestines as a breeding place. 5. Hookworms. Its survival in contaminated sewage soil, which they enter their host body through their feet up into the small intestine and feed on their host blood. If not treated in time, they can cause bloating, stunted growth, lethargy and anemia. Although they are near extinction, their cycle of life makes it difficult for human to combat, as they often return back to the ground through human poop. The Human Hookworm Vaccine Initiative is developing a drug that will make it difficult for the worm to feed on their host. 6. Yaws. It is contagious disease, which is spread from the fluid of a person suffering from the disease touches another person. Yaws is common in areas with poor communities that have humid, warm and tropical forest areas like Asia, Africa, the Pacific and Latin America. In the 1950s, efforts were made to reduce the spread of yaws by 95% before it becomes a global pandemic. It becomes one of the diseases WHO targeted to eradicate by the 2020. 7. Measles. In the 50 years, the number of measles cases have reduced, but before then, The cases of measles have been a major epidemics before 1963, where every child got the disease before they reach age 15. In United States, the disease surfaces every 2 to 3 years, causing about 2.6 million deaths each year. It is contacted through sneezing and coughing. Until 1954, when Dr. Thomas C. Peebles of Harvard University was able to collect same of an infected measles patient sample and create a vaccine called Edmonston Enders, which is still used up to date. 8. Tetanus. Up to date still exists today around the world. It is a bacterial named Clostridium tetani and exists in the soil and enters the human body through any open wound on the body, which then releases a toxic substances in the body, resulting to painful muscle contractions and paralysis. The Clostridium tetani bacterial is resistant to heat and chemicals, which makes it difficult to eradicate. Though there are vaccines that have been developed to suppress and control it, the number of death cases have reduced from 314,000 in 1990 to 33,000 in 2017. Countries with the highest number of cases are found in Somalia and South Sudan. 9. Elephantiasis. It is one of the diseases that disfigure the human legs with the shape of an elephant or the genitals bigger. It is caused by 3 species of thread-like worms that attach themselves to their host lymphatic system. This causes the body to find it difficult to regulate liquids, which makes the affected leg or genitals grow out of proportions. The worms releases larvae into their host bloodstream, and when a mosquito bites the host, it spread the disease to other people it bites. Combating the spread of the disease can be done by preventing breeding grounds for mosquitoes, and other medications can be applied to treat the sickness. About 16 countries have been able to eradicate elephantiasis. 10. Malaria. Malaria is spread by mosquitoes that carry a small parasite which is released in the bloodstream of human. This results to chills, headache, fever, body aches and nausea. Measures has been taken in the past to combat the disease, which have infected millions across the world. The number of malaria cases have dropped since the 21st century. The death rate dropped from 840,000 in 2000 to 440,000 in 2015. Most cases reported in Africa are children death. Thanks for watching this video. If you like what you see in this video, kindly give it a thumbs up and comment below. If you are new here, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and smash the bell icon to be the first to get notified when we make a new video. Thanks, and see you in the next video.